everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. As you can tell by the title, we have a pattern tested review for you today. So the pattern tested is because I was a tester for the particular pattern, and I can give you some details on my experience with sewing up the pattern before you purchase, just as some feedback for you and different things that maybe you can consider. So I want to welcome everybody to the channel. For those who are new to the channel, welcome. I upload every Sunday and Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm going to jump right in. This is the Itch to Stitch Algarve top. Had to make sure I pronounced that right. Algarve top, and it's super duper easy. So for those who are interested in itch to stitch patterns and maybe you want to see some reviews I have previously done, I will pop up here in the iCard as well as up at the end of this video a playlist of all the itch to stitch patterns I have sewn and the different reviews I've done. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So like I said, this is an easy top. However, I do have a couple of one or two tips for you that may help you in deciding at least the sizing, and then maybe some finishing off that may be helpful for you. It is really an easy top. It is only 4 pattern pieces. You have the front, the back, and then you have the front and back yoke piece. And so one of the things that you will notice about this top, it is made for knit, and it has really nice front detail. It is made for soft drapey fabrics, and one of the key features is this front yoke. I don't know if you can tell, this is actually made out of one of my favorite knit fabrics. Let's just pause for the cause. If you all remember, and that's why I had it here so I can remember, jog your memory. Remember I made this for BHM Pattern Designers. This was Nomi 2046 that I modified into a top. And remember I said I had about maybe 1.5 yards left of this fabric. It is a stretch knit that I had purchased from, I cannot remember, but it was a whole long wait for the fabric. Fashion Fabrics Club, that's who it was. Fashion Fabrics Club. If they still have it, I will link to it down below, but you all know how much I love this fabric, and I had set it to the side, the rest that I did have, hoping something will come up that I can get this look out of, get another piece out of it. Now initially I was planning on doing one of my TNT tank, but I decided when I pulled it out for this test, I was like, perfect. And when I tell you guys, I squeezed these pattern pieces out of this fabric, literally. This is all I have left, and I'm happy about that. Literally, this is all I have left from this fabric, from this graffiti fabric, and I'm happy about that because that's less that's going into my my recycle bin over there, and I use that, as you all know, the recycle pieces for other stuff. But anyway, so you will notice in the pictures that I styled it with, I made the Simplicity, it's a Mimi G pattern 9714. I had made that jacket as well as the shorts, and so for the styling for this, you'll see that this top, the Algarve that I'm wearing, is styled with those shorts from Simplicity. And so super duper easy. So yes, you do have the front yoke piece, which I'll make a point about that when you're looking at sizing. You can wear it tucked in or out. I wore mine out. It definitely can be tucked in, but I thought the look for this was really nice. Out, that is. And it also has a regular and full bust option. I did cut out the full bust option piece. If you all are familiar with Itch to Stitch patterns, she always has that full bust option, so that always works for me. It has integrated short sleeves. So integrated meaning here's the yoke piece and it goes into the sleeve, and you will notice, and I'll pop up the line drawing too because I know you can't really tell in my fabric, but you'll notice how the yoke goes into that sleeve piece and just makes for a really nice feature. And so it is designed for more lightweight knit fabrics, so you can get that bit of a drape and a little bit of movement in there. So when we're looking at the sizing, so with the body measurements, the sizing starts at a 31 1/8 for regular, and it starts at a 34 1/8 for full bust. So there is a 3-inch difference in your full bust measurement. So your final regular size 40 in a regular is 60 inches, and then your full bust size 40 is 63 inches. Now, and that's just body measurement. When you flip over to the finished garment measurement, and I'll just tell you just what the size I cut out based on that. So my full bust is 45, my waist 39, hip 52. So, but when I looked at the finished garment measurement, I figured I'm gonna go with a size 18. And so a full bust in the 18 is 47 7/8 inches in measurement. And so I'm already going up a little bit, not very much for this full bust. But then for 18 in the finished garment measurements, we have 52, we have a waist of 49, or 51 for the full bust, I should say, that piece. And then the hip in the full is 54. And then the bicep is 15. So for me, taking all of that in consideration, and I would say that this knit is drapey, but it's not ITY drapey necessarily. Does that make sense? So when I picked out my sizing based off of the drape of the fabric and knowing the movement and how I wanted to flow on me because of the gathers up at the top yoke, that was one thing that I was like, okay, I don't want this to look maternity or matronly on me. So I'm gonna dramatically go down in size. So for me, I wanted to go down in size because, and I just adjusted the camera so you can tell, I didn't want, if I went up to a size cut out, because if I cut out my actual bust measurements for this body measurements, I would have went with a 16 essentially, and then what is that? Yeah, a 16, and then it would have been a waist of 37 3/4 and 45 1/2. But there is a lot of ease between the body measurements and the full garment measurements for the finished full garment measurements for this pattern. So you have to keep that in mind, and you want to make sure that, again, like me, just my thought, I didn't want this to be too full up in here because I knew it was going to be gathered into the yoke. I did not want it to be too full in there where it looks matronly or it looks too full and looks like maybe I have on a maternity top or something like that. I knew I wanted to be comfortable and breezy, and so I feel like I did accomplish that, and I will pop up pictures and video too of me in it. So far as the construction, keep in mind, there's a couple things you want to keep in mind, and I'll share with you the inside of this. You have to cut out your front yoke and your back yoke twice, but there's 2 different lines for your front yoke and your back yoke. So the shorter yoke is the one, I believe it's the shorter. Let me double check so I'm not telling you the wrong thing. Yes, it is the shorter piece for the front yoke and the back yoke that's fully interfaced. For the longer piece that you cut out for your front and back, that only you stay tape this part of your fabric. And so for me, you will notice mine pokes out a little bit here, only because I accidentally interfused both full pieces, the front and back, both of them, the front and back, for interfacing. So that was my mistake, and I know it is causing it to sit out. I don't know if in the pictures you'll be able to tell. Hopefully you can see what I'm saying here. It pokes out, it stands away from my chest just a little bit, and that is because the whole piece is interfaced. One of the pieces was fully interfaced, and it doesn't need to be. It just needs to have that stay tape around the top. So that was the only little error that I made. However, the rest of the instructions is so super easy. Once you put these yoke pieces together, and I'll actually switch tops and show you the inside of this. It finishes off beautifully on the inside. And again, you don't have to worry about setting in any sleeves or anything like that. I believe the drape turned out really nice. And again, you'll see that in the pictures. The pattern is on sale now, so make sure that you head on over. I'll leave on the screen here the exact date of the sale, but I'll leave a link to the pattern down in the description box. It is an affiliate link. You don't have to use it, but I do appreciate those that do. It does help the channel, but this was an easy test. And the length of time, I literally wrote down how long it took me, and I did take a little bit of a break. So I'm going to summarize what I think how long it takes. I started at 12:30. I ended at 1:56, and I took maybe a 10-minute break. So about an hour and a half to sew this whole top up, especially if you have, like I said, I only had like 1.5 yards, if that much, of this fabric. And when I tell you I finagled those pieces to get everything out of what I had left of this graffiti fabric because I absolutely love it. This one I absolutely love, wore a lot, but it's getting too hot to wear that with the longer sleeves. And so to have something like this, shorter sleeves that I can wear with shorts and everything like that is perfect. So I think that's all I have. Oh, I did want to share with you the inside and then the hem. I highly suggest, if you have fabric that curls, first let me switch tops and then I'll explain that part to you. You don't need a serger. You don't have to have a serger for this top, but you can finish off the seams with the serge, which is what I did. But one of the things I want to point out, because this fabric tends to curl, what I do is add this. I know I've shown this many a times, but I have the Sew Keys, the Emma Seabrook, the knit stay tape. I know I've shared this plenty of times. I know I've shared this plenty of times on the channel. So this is what I used. And so what I did was around the bottom hem, I put down the stay tape first. Then I serged, and then I just turned it under. But what that allows is for it to lay better. After I gave it a good press, after it was done, you know, it just lays better and doesn't curl. I didn't do it on the sleeves because I don't mind that movement in the sleeves because, you know, moving arm and all of that. So I didn't do it on the sleeve. But I did do it on the hem. And so this is the inside. So this is why you have two yoke pieces, because one is facing outward and the other piece is facing inward. And so this is how it finishes off. You're just stitching. This is the front where you gather it in the front, and then the back, the yoke is shorter. So that's how it's so super easy. So super easy. So yeah, that's it, everybody. Real simple, easy to sew up, less than 2 hours you'll get it done. But those are just a couple of the tips that I have for you. Super easy, and I really love it because I'm so happy I was able to use up the rest of that graffiti knit fabric for another beautiful top. And so yeah, this one will definitely get a lot of wear in the summertime because it's much shorter and much more breathable. But I thank you everybody so much for tuning in. Take advantage of the sale. Again, I'll have on the screen how long the sale will be going on. And also I'll have the link to the pattern down in the description box. If you have any questions, any comments, definitely leave them down below. But I thank you everybody so much for tuning in today. You all have a fantastic rest of the week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.